street. We walk with the assurance that my training is going to help me survive so that I can do my self-defense so that I can live a better life.
Yes, sir.
You know, when we greet each other in the school, we have an expression, we say to somebody, train hard. Their response is live free.
Live free. Train hard.
So the hard training is something that you're putting out there. You know, teachers have been used quotes like this in schools I grew up in. Sweat in the school so you don't bleed in the street. You see? You know, but these are things that let you know, fear not about the sweat you're sweating now, because sweat feels like blood when it's on your body. You can't tell the difference till you look.
Until you look and see it.
Yeah, but you need to know that when you are sweating, that it's sweat, not blood. I can't tell you how many times, I mean, me personally, I may have went like this, so, oh, who blood is that?
Where blood coming from, right?
So, you know, you got to get used to that thing of preparing for something. We prepare for our children, right? We prepare a path for them. We prepare, you know, in some prayers, it's that I prepare a path for you. You know, I walk the path of the righteous. It's because the path is about, you know, I served in Vietnam, and one of the most important people that was with us was the person who went on point. That's a term used for somebody who walked ahead to make sure that you can walk in that path. Now, when he came back, you can go, he said, walk this way. If you want to walk a little bit off that, see, that on you. Yeah. Ain't nobody walked over there yet, but somebody walked back to tell you it was okay.
Yes.
We're losing that now. There are many masters who walked the path for us, told us the correct path, but we want to be our own master. I think that's another show. I ain't gonna go down that road.
He's trying to give us more to talk about the next time. Paving the way, right? I mean, and then you know, and then the other thing that you were talking about in the preparedness is the mindset shift, right? Because you can't be fully prepared unless you shift that mind first to know, hey, this right here, this got to change first before anything.
Spirit, mind, body.
Exactly what I say. I don't say the mind, body, spirit. I used to say mind, body, spirit, but I'm like, no, it don't go that way. It's the spirit first, because the spirit always knows first. And I'm learning that more and more. The longer that God allows me to live, it's even like when we feel a little something in our stomach, maybe about a person or about a situation, and we might, you know, push it to the side and ignore it. But it's like, that's like the nudging that we can't ignore, because the spirit is so much farther advanced than our flesh.
Yes.
You know, so it's like when we learn to start listening, and I'm the, you know, preaching to the choir, preaching to myself, start listening to that spirit, it'll never lead us the wrong way. It'll always give you that. It goes before, like that analogy you just gave about like the soldier going before. It goes before us.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? And whether we like, but the spirit, like, I didn't wait. I've already seen that. Now you want to still act like you don't. You know, whatever the consequences are, is what, you know, that's what you're gonna have to pay.
There you go. There you go.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
And sometimes we lose our own way, you know.
Yeah.
But when we get around like spirits,
yes.
Now you hear the expression all the time, like-minded, and that's good. That's good to be like-minded. But we gotta leave with our own interpretation of where we want to go. You know, a lot of us want to follow the road to success, so we can just do what others have done, and sometimes fail and go, well, how come it worked for them and didn't work for me? Because the spirit leads you into a direction of something that's working for you from within, and that's what you have to do. You know, by no means that I thought that I would be in the position that I am in the martial art, but I got led towards like-minded spirit and my teacher who led the way for me. And it was my position to be able to pick up that spirit and move forward. You know, like the expression of 20 candles in a room, right? But only one lit. If you lit the other 19 with that same candle, it wouldn't diminish the flame at all from the original one. And the room would be brighter. So it doesn't, when candle 1 lights candle 2, that same candle 1 lights candle 3, 4, and 5, it doesn't diminish from candle 1 at all. Nothing from candle 1. So we have to remember that those spirits are the light, and that takes us to fill the room, so the room is bright, and more things can be seen. But when we start to think like there's lack in the world, there's not enough for something to happen for me. Like all the money will be gone by the time I get there, or all of the, whatever it is that I'm looking for will be taken because I shared with my brother a little too earlier, so he went did that before me, and he stole it from me. You know how our elders say it wasn't for you. Because they're talking about the lesson you should have learned from that, so you can now develop what's for you. And a lot of times you're a developer for other people and you don't even know it. Because your job is to serve. That's what you're here for, to serve. Yep. But you don't get a chance to pick who you serve. You see, so you kind of want to always remember, as being a servant of the Most High, of God, that you're here to serve. So in your prayers, you say, "God, be well in your service."
Yes.
And not, I'm saying, I don't want to say people pray for the wrong things, but sometimes it's in the wording. You know what I mean? So sometimes that's why we say that what you put out in the world, you should say positive things on a frequent basis, because you don't know which thing is going to get heard.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Even jokingly, because it's like when we say it, you don't even like the spirit. We don't know when you let that thing, whatever it is, off your tongue, even if it's a joke. So I say, we make that joke, make that something positive, make that something that speaks life. Instead of something that's, negative or bad or whatever, because you put it out in the universe, there it is, whatever it is. Oh, I was just joking. Well, you know what? It's power in what we say, whether you're joking or not. So speak life. And that's what we as servant leaders, I mean, that's what we should be, really intentional about doing, is, speaking life into whoever crosses our path, or whoever's path we cross, to speak life into them, leave them better than how you found them or whatever, because people are, they're, out here looking and searching or whatever. So that's when you talk about prayer, that's my prayer. It's like, whoever you put, in my path, let our encounter be to, I left them, or they left me feeling better than how we, you know what I mean? Because there's so much evil that we're fighting against, and it's just so much so. But like you said, like minds come together, and good energy and good spirit and all that. That's that's why I love talking to you. I always, I love talking to you. I wish every conversation with everybody that I have would be so uplifting, and the energy would just be so. But people come from different beliefs and different whatever, and
and it's good to know. It's good to know their path, or to at least be able to tap into that spirit, to understand another way. It may not be your way, but understanding is the ultimate thing for us to do. Because we, the epiphanies that we have in life, let's say from age 10 to 20, is entirely different from 20 to 30, and from 30 to 40. So when you look back over that 30 years, going like, wow, how much I see now, the hindsight and whatever. You had to be a part of those experiences to know, and to give thanks that you made it through, because often people don't.
That's so true. And that's so true. But I have a higher would say expectation of people who have practiced martial arts for many years, and taught and trained and whatever. I have a higher expectation. And how sometimes it's like you hear people putting their mouth on somebody else, and it's just like,
why?
Really?
But in every profession, titles mess us up. They do.
I say Grand Poobah status.
they mess us up because, like you said, they put expectations on things, and oftentimes our expectations are a little too high. This is how come you really got to see a person from, like you said, from the spirit forward.
Yes.
And usually the spirit will come out long before. I have this thing where I say people send a representative of themselves. They don't really ever send themselves out.
Yeah.
That representative can, he's there to convince you of something. I'm a nice person. I'm powerful, or whatever. It's time to check it. Do you believe me?
Right. But it's okay. Do you notice that when it's like I, me, my, then those people, then you can kind of see, because it's not coming from a spiritual foundational place. It's all about them, me and I, and what I can do. It's like, not that the creator gave you these gifts and talents, but you want to put, you make yourself that master and that God.